Hello, um, my name is David. I want to introduce to Excel-based primary healthcare spending modeling tool. This introduction will cover some basic functionalities to demonstrate how primary healthcare definition can be designed, constructed, and the spending calculated or estimated. The main worksheet is a modeling where we can select any combination of healthcare functions with or without healthcare providers, and the tool will show here in this column, if we're interested, how much of expenditures are accounted for this combination or for this selection, and it shows also percentages. So we can see while we design and while we define primary healthcare, what is the share or what is the financial application of any function or provider we select. So that's the way it works. You as a user are welcome to select any country. You can do it from this list. When I say a country, I need to stress that this tool is for OECD countries because only database from OECD countries is loaded, and the reason we selected this version of the tool, because there is another version as well for countries with full studies of expenditure tracking. The reason we selected that OECD database is broader. I mean, we have a lot of countries there, 20 years of history, and it's fairly standardized in terms of same coding in each country. Therefore, to see how this tool works and how primary healthcare can be defined, this version of the tool is most convenient. So select country and select the year. Year because tool will show primary healthcare expenditure for entire 20 years, as you can see here, 20 or no. Yes, whatever is available from 2003 to 2019 for Spain. But in certain cases, if we compare countries, it will use 2017 or any year we select. We can also select measurements, how we want this to be presented, whether it will be current PPP or current prices. By default, I would suggest not to touch any this other than changing country or changing year. And then the creativity process defining primary healthcare starts here. It's just for demonstration purposes. Some combinations entered here, you can delete simply, and you can see that when you delete these updates, and we get different combination here. So let's say we want dental outpatient curative care, which turns out to be already selected. Therefore, it makes it pink in color. But don't worry about it, because the tool will ignore the second one, and you can see it only shows 120. But here, if we want to combine it with specific type of facility, you see it shows 0, because it's obvious that home-based care and mental health hospitals are not compatible to each other. However, we can have a specialized outpatient curative care. Users can check whether HP 13 is needed, because if I delete it now, the tool will show all specialist outpatient curative care. But if I bring back delivered in hospitals, you see it drops down to 7. So it's easy to see implications of any choice we do. So how do we know which HP or HC is available for this country? For the reason, it's good to go to this worksheet where you see we see so Spain 2017 selected, and it shows what figures there are in the database. So we can understand what ingredients we can use. So these ingredients which cross each other or use only just HC. You cannot use only HP. It's not the way it works. So you can either use HC or HC with HP. And you don't need to modify here anything else. So WHO, OECD 1, OECD 2, these are definitions preloaded. And these calculations it shows what would primary healthcare expenditures would have been if Spain had used WHO definition. And these calculations here, they are then also visible here. If you select, you can see here, there are check boxes. Let me uncheck. If we uncheck all, we will only see, on the first chart, we will see only primary healthcare in Spain based on the definition which is here. But if we want then to compare it with OECD 1 or OECD 2 definition or OECD 3 definition, and you can check it, and these definitions will, the corresponding expenditures will be displayed on the chart. The same is on the other chart. So you can see these are time series. One is based on absolute numbers, another one is on the percentage of primary healthcare as defined here per current health expenditure. And then there are other charts where then the tool compares how this definition in Spain stands, how Spain, with this definition of primary healthcare expenditures of it compares to other countries in current PPPs or in percentages to current health expenditures. And also it shows, then there are last two slides, charts where it shows how primary healthcare has been changing as a percentage of GDP and in parallel to current health expenditures as percentage of GDP. So it can show whether health consumption expenditures has been increasing or not increasing, and what was happening in parallel with primary healthcare. And that's again the same, but comparing to other countries. And if you want to see numbers behind it, you can go to tables, and the tables are dynamically populated. So anytime, so if you change here country, this table will show the numbers for so these actually numbers which are behind all these charts. And in this table, it's I think very long. Here are all that's a database actually loaded, and this is a data which the tool used to present it and estimate primary healthcare expenditures. If you want to recall what each code mean, here is a HP codes classification, and here is HC classification. Just to remind meaning of each of it. Also in the modeling tool, when you select something, you see function and providers definitions also come here. That's in brief. I hope this introduction was helpful, and you are encouraged to try and test and build whatever you think it's interesting and relevant. Thank you.